This is NR2003 Predicts. We take the entry list of the top 3 NASCAR series, send them through the N ratings algorithm, set them up by their provisional lineups, and set the forecast as they will be on race day, and we see what the computer says will be the finishing order on race day. Looking at the other 2 series that competed here this weekend, Sheldon Creed in wet conditions, just trying to pedal it home. He is going to take the first victory for NASCAR at this track, and also the first one in the Truck Series. John Hunter Nemechek, Kaz Grala, Ben Rhodes, and Austin Hill also inside the top 5. Also a good day for road ringer Parker Chase in 6th place, and Paul Menard there in the 20s, making his return to NASCAR. In the Xfinity Series, it was AJ Allmendinger crossing the line first over Austin Cindric, Cole Custer, Daniel Hemrick, and Michael Annett. Several of those double-duty drivers finishing up front. Also saw road ringers like Spencer Pompelli, 23rd, Boris Said, 27th. Also troubles for Jeb Burden, who crashed along with Landon Castle, having mechanical issues. It is a rainy day here in Austin. They qualified in the dry, but they are racing in the wet. Tyler Reddick, Kyle Larson out in front. Green flag here for the inaugural Cup Series race at Circuit of the Americas. The pole sitter Tyler Reddick runs up the hill and grabs the lead. Kyle Busch working his way by Larson for second. The racing conditions are definitely going to change up how this race plays out. Comparing yesterday's practice to today's qualifying session, the difference is about 20 seconds on the lap time. So they're going to just try to get through these corners as gingerly as possible, but they are definitely going to be racing hard throughout the entire day. We're seeing Chase Elliott, a driver who really excels on these road courses, the leading active driver in wins on road courses. He is working his way up early, trying to get by the 18 of Kyle Busch right now. He will be able to do that on these final corners, and going down the front stretch, he is going to try to take over the lead from Tyler Reddick going into turn number 1. He will stick it in there. And Elliott up to the lead after Reddick leads the first lap. But here comes Kevin Harvick. He's a driver that has also had a couple road course victories before. He's 2 for 42, one at Watkins Glen in 2006 and at Sonoma in 2017. And making sure that he stays right on the back bumper of Elliott. We've got some troubles here coming down the hill in turn 2. Chris Buescher, contact with Michael McDowell, and Bubba Wallace runs into the back of the 17. A heavy hit that is looking like it's going to take the 23 out of contention, as he is now smoking. And that is going to bring out a caution as well, but Kevin Harvick going to fight his way by the 9 car before we get back to the line. But on pit lane, troubles with him and Christopher Bell. They make contact, and a huge mental error there, as now the 4 car going to have to back it up in his pit stall and make repairs. So he is not going to be here in time for that restart, as Hamlin now assumes the lead. And I believe he stayed out, did not pit on that cycle, and there might have been a few other takers. As here's trouble going down the back stretch, or that long stretch that's on the back part of the course, as Chase Briscoe gets turned by Martin Truex Jr. and Michael McDowell kind of runs into him, and heavy front end damage on the 34. Happening right behind that, contact between 43, 7, and 33. Cindric and LaJoie go around in the 7 car in that gravel off in that corner. It looks like he will get it out of there eventually, though. All and right down that stretch again. Alex Bowman plows right into the 24, really didn't have any speed coming off that race course, and there's the heavy favorite, Chase Elliott, running into the back of Blaney. I gotta admit, the 48 looked like he didn't have any shot of stopping that race car. He was way too late on the brakes, and the 48 is definitely out of this one as he pulls behind the wall. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin had a field day as he was able to get by lap traffic and just run away with it. He will take the stage win, followed by Elliott, Truex Jr., Logano, and Blaney. The rain continues to fall here at the racetrack, as now Hamlin out in front, followed by Truex and Elliott, and Truex trying to take the lead right on the restart. He goes down to the bottom line, cuts the corner short, and he will get up to the lead over Hamlin. And Logano is going to follow the 19 car, as he might have made a little contact in the back of the 19. Truex might be a little overlooked when it comes to these road courses. He's won 3 times on a road course since he joined a Toyota camp, 4 times overall. His last win on a road course came at Sonoma in 2019, the last time he raced at that track. And he is holding up at the front. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin actually came down to pit lane after they took the green flag, so now he is mired at the back of the field and trying to make up some time. Not sure what that strategy was, if it was a strategy. And here comes Kevin Harvick up the inside of Martin Truex Jr. This is not for the lead, this is for Harvick to get his lap back, utilizing that pass-heavy straightaway on the back part of the racetrack and trying to see if he can stay in front. And now Joey Logano trying to see if he can get by the 19, and he runs into the 19 once again. And continuing to crunch that hood up. That is not going to work out eventually, and Hamlin going down that straightaway. There's a huge accordion effect here. And that's the trouble you run into when you make that pit stop. You run into some slower traffic. If you were one of the faster cars and he has damaged his hood, he might have to make another pit stop. Tyler Reddick, the pole sitter, working his way pretty well in the 5th position. He is going to gain some stage points as we come to the end of stage 2. Truex Jr. wins it, followed by Larson, Elliott, Blaney, Reddick as well. Both the Busch brothers inside the top 10. Also Ryan Newman getting up there to 9th. And now we head into this final stage, taking up about half this entire race. Elliott going to go to the outside of Kyle Tilley in the 78 car. He's going to try to see if he can pull off a gap. Here comes Christopher Bell. He's won the only road course we've had so far this season at the Daytona road course. Had a clutch last-minute effort to pull off the victory here. And look at him making a big run down the straightaway. He passes the 8, and he's going to pass the 5 car. Killing 2 birds with 1 stone as he goes down into that corner. And here he comes, catching up to the 9 of Chase Elliott. Now the 20 is showing all the speed as he has propelled himself into the lead. Matt DiBenedetto looking to get back on track, trying to see if he can work his way back into playoff contention. He had gotten his way back up to that cut line, but he is currently below it. Tyler Reddick is the one that he's facing, and we see the 8 car coming in for his pit service, along with one of the front runners, Chase Elliott. Denny Hamlin also there in the back. Bell's going to come in 1 lap later. We'll see if that plays a factor as we watch on board the 9 car. Bell had taken a pretty sizable lead, but the 9 has started to chip away at that after making that early pit stop. And now going down the straightaway. Lap traffic in the form of Tilley. 9 car going back to the front. And with their final pit stop completed, this could be the move that wins the race. Kevin Harvick has worked his way back into a respectable spot after getting his lap back on speed. However, he's kind of stalled out at the 11th place point as he just has nowhere to make a pass. Meanwhile, here comes Martin Truex Jr. He has come out of nowhere. The battle was between Elliott and Bell, and suddenly the 19 car gets by the 20 in turn 1, and now going down that back straightaway, Truex Jr. going to find his way to the front. Still side by side going through these final corners, but Truex is going to have the edge. And a big run for that 19 car is we're seeing a lot of speed out of these Joe Gibbs racing cars. 19 starting to put a gap on the rest of the field. Meanwhile, Denny Hamlin has worked his way in the second. He has passed both Bell and Elliott. Suddenly the 11 is fully into this as he has worked his way all the way back to the 19 car. We're seeing guys that we did not expect to be in the running pull right back into this thing, and the white flag has waved. Now it's a matter of seeing, can Hamlin get by Truex in these final corners of the race? Truex Jr. coming up to the lapped car of Quinn Houff. They are approaching turn 19. This is going to be a edgy part. Can Hamlin do anything here to utilize the lap traffic as they navigate these final corners? This will be the last turn, turn 20. Truex Jr. goes to the outside of the 00, and Hamlin tries to stay in line, trying to see if something happens. And nothing does happen as Truex Jr. gets the run off the corner down the front straightaway. And in the first race for the Cup Series at Circuit of the Americas, Martin Truex Jr. is going to claim victory here in Austin. Couple of drivers that put up A heck of a performance right at the end of this race. Truex Jr. going to come away with the victory, followed by Hamlin under a second differential. Christopher Bell gets his way back into third place over Chase Elliott, but he falls all the way back to 10 seconds back, and Chase Elliott 24 seconds back when it's all said and done. And Kevin Harvick fights his way all the way back to 5th position. What a comeback, considering the troubles he had earlier on in this race. Looking at the next page, we see Austin Dillon, Joey Logano, almost 2 minutes away from the leaders in this one. Michael McDowell has road racing experience. He finished 16th. Kyle Busch, not a good day for him. He finished back in 19th. And the guys that finished off the lead lap, including AJ Allmendinger, really wasn't a factor. He did earn some stage points in the first stage, but appeared to fall off after that. And we had a total of 5 drivers that dropped out, including both Spire Motorsport drivers. Alex Bowman pummeling the back of his teammates. William Byron, who finished 30th. Brad Keselowski with some mechanical issues. And Bubba Wallace with the crash damage. That is it for NR2003 Predicts. We hope you enjoy the race, and we will see you all next time.